Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. I remain your parenting partner, the person that advocates for what? For wholesome parenting and raising wholesome kids who will in turn do what? Who will in turn become a stronger force for their own generation. Okay. So I would always remind you when we parent, we are parenting for what? We're parenting for nation building. And today I would like to pose a question to you. A question that may make you laugh because you'll be like, why this question? And what is the question? The question is, do you have children? Do you actually have children? Do you know that your children think the world of you? Do you know that your children think the world of you? Yes, your children do think the world of you. I'm coming from watching a video by my mentor. I follow a lot of leadership gurus, and Fela there to me is one of them. So I just finished watching his recent charge, and this was the question he asked us: do you have children? Do you know that your children think the world of you? If you know that your children think the world of you, please do comment on the comment section so that we can take the conversation further from here. Okay, so by now, I'm sure you would have dropped that comment answering the question if you do have kids. But I want to tell you, the video I would like you to watch, I'm going to put a video in here for you to watch, and that video is not necessarily for those who have kids. It's even more for those who are yet to become parents. So I'll advise that you stay on to the next few minutes, 3 minutes thereabout, because I wouldn't want to, savor this charge from Fela all by myself. You guys know me. I bring you the best on this channel. I bring you everything that can help you to, parent with calm, to parent with conscious parenting, so that we can in turn do what? We can in turn raise wholesome kids who will become strong voices in their generation. So this was what my mentor said. Listen to this video. It's just 3 minutes, and then I will come back here to do some analysis of that video. Thank you.
Be your best in all you do, particularly the things you're naturally good at. You know, a few weeks ago, I had to take an Uber to the airport. And as I stepped into the car, I noticed how dirty and how sandy the carpet was, and the dust on the dashboard, and just how scattered things were all over in the Uber. And the gentleman was a pretty nice and decent gentleman. We started having a very interesting conversation. And he said to me, "Oh, sir, fella, I know you. I know you very well. It's a privilege to have you in my Uber." And he says, I've been praying that one of these days I will meet you. Sir, please, is there anything you can say to me that will change my life? And I said to him, well, I do have something in my heart that I want to share with you, but I'm not sure how you will receive it. He said, sir, no, please tell me. I know your heart is good. It will come from a good place. Please tell me. I said, do you have children? He said, yes, I do. I said, how many kids do you have? He said, I have 2 children. I said to him, do you know that your kids think the world of you? He said, yeah, I hope so, sir. I said, so would your children have to go into the car of someone else to see what a clean car looks like? He said, wow. I said, I didn't mean to hurt you. I don't mean to hurt you. But if your children have to experience excellence by encountering somebody else, then you have not served them properly as a father. He said, sir, oh my God, I didn't realize I've been very busy with this car, and this is the car that I said, yes, I understand. This car serves to help you to put food on your table, but the car does a bit more than that. For your children, this is their father's office. For your children, this is the car that probably takes them to church. I said, it will be a shame that they have to go into somebody else's car to experience what a clean car looks like. That is your choice. He said, sir, I promise you, I will never allow this car to be dirty again. I never saw it from that perspective. And so I want you to commit to be the best version of yourself, so that when others look to you, As you create in that image and likeness, you create a better version of themselves. This is the responsibility that we carry as leaders, not leaders with just positions and titles, but as people who have the capacity to influence others. So today, I want you to please commit to be your best and give your best to all you do, especially the things that you're naturally good at. Be the example of excellence to a people who are looking up to you.
I cringed as well. I know you did cringe on listening to that charge, that video, by my mentor. I did cringe as well. And because I did cringe, that's why I felt it necessary to have this conversation. And what was the first thing, that hit me? The first thing that hit me from that video was the way the guy said, "Oh, I know you very well. I would like you to say something to me." And fella said, "Yes, I do have something to say to you, but I'm not sure how you're going to take it. I'm not sure how you're going to take it." It's not everybody. It's not everybody that can approach, situations from such angles. Yes, fella had a lot. The filthiness in that car was such that it shouldn't be seen in this day and age. And if you know fella very well, fella operates between Lagos and Abuja, so he didn't disclose to us his exact location where this whole thing took place, but I'm very sure it will be between Lagos and Abuja. Okay, so let's say the average Bolt person or Uber person in these two towns get so carried away by pursuing money because the bills are high. I always talk about the bills on this channel because you cannot parent without spending. You need a lot of money, to be able to enroll those children in extracurriculum activities. Some of those kids that do what is called after school interventions and all of those things, they come at an extra cost. Yes, I know that. But should we pursue, money and let go of the things we ought to keep aright because our children mirror us? I always remind you, your children mirror you. Your children mirror you. They see more of what you do and, take after what you do than what you say to them. They see more of what you do than what you say to them. So let's go back to Fella's video. Fella said to this guy, "I don't know how you're going to take it. I had that experience last week. I needed to correct something. I needed to correct a teacher in my son's school. And like I always tell you all, I don't take prisoners, but I also use emotional intelligence because I follow those guys. Imagine, look at where fella came through to deliver his message. Something that the moment he got into that car, you know, it was in his heart. Why should a car be this dirty? And then they got into a conversation. He found a way to smoothen the guy's mind before, passing that message that turned out to be what? That turned out to be um a lesson for the guy. It's something he never thought of it. I'm pursuing money. I'm doing all I can to legally put my bills, to check, but he never knew he was letting out something very important, which is excellence, because he has two children that are looking up to him, mirroring him. Do you understand? So, from, getting him to be settled, and the guy said, "Whatever it is you're going to say to me, I know it will be coming from a place of improvement, a place for progress. I know you very well. It will not be coming from a place of judgment. You will not be judging me," using my own words now. Okay, so let's now move on. Fella said, "Do you have children?" The guy responded, "Yes, I have two kids." And then fella went ahead to say, Would you like your children to experience what a clean car look like when they get into another person's car? And that hits really hard. That hits really hard. Um, I don't know. I don't know if you watched that video and it didn't hit you. For this guy, it was his car. For me, it may not be my car. It may be something else, I'm not putting attention to. And because I'm not putting attention to it, I'm also, teaching my children not to put attention. Because I'm not putting attention to it, I'm also passing a message to those kids. You are also passing a message. Remember, your children mirror you. Would you rather your kids look into another person's car to be able to experience what a clean car look like? If your children have to look elsewhere to experience what values are, what excellence means, then you have not served them properly as a mother. You've not served them properly as a father. You've not served them properly as a guardian. You've not served them properly as a mentor. You've not served them properly as, as the person who is in charge of monitoring these children, nurturing them, guiding them through, until they get to choosing their own path. Choosing their own path. What is your spectacle? What is your perception? What is your perception? It is the perception you wear. That's the same perception that your children are going to wear. It is the spectacle you wear that your children, are going to wear. Sometimes I see children being dressed shabbily, you see parents, they are properly put together. You can take them anywhere. You can take them anywhere, place them, you know and place them in the market, and you get value for money. But when you turn and look at their children do not fit into the profile of, the parents. And sometimes I wonder, I say, don't we know that as you are doing this thing with your child, align the child, you dress the child so shabbily, they are growing up with that mentality. The children are growing up with that mentality. They are growing up with that mentality. So please, our children mirror us. Let's not get really carried away by pursuing so much. I talk about intentional parenting. Is intentionality is a wholesome thing. You know, I did not just jump at this wholesome parenting and wholesome kids because I like the name. It's wholesome, it's inclusive. It cuts across the academics, it cuts across what you do at home, it cuts across the extracurriculum activities, it cuts across age appropriate skills that you can, begin to expose your children. It cuts across morals, it cuts across values, it cuts across their character, their behavior. It's inculcating, it's inclusive, it's everything. It's everything. Ranging from their food, the way their food is being served, the way you serve a child's food imputes in the mind of the child how he or she will grow up and begin to serve his own even before he begins to serve another person. So some of us, you take let's say this is a plate of food, you just put the rice, and then you're putting the stew has dropped all over the place. You're giving your child like that. Please pick up a serviette and wipe out, so that you present food to your children in a neat way, not in a messy way, so that when they are eating and they are messing up the place, you can have the grounds enough to tell them, no, in our family we don't eat this way. We don't mess up the place, because you didn't mess up his plate when you were serving the food. So the child would understand. These things stick. They understand more than we do. We actually underestimate the knowledge that our children have. They have so much inside of them. Commit to being the best image of yourself. Commit to being the best image of yourself, because until you are the best image of yourself, you cannot raise a child that will have the best image of himself. You can't raise a child that will have the best image of herself. That's why I said wholesome parents, wholesome kids. I did not say parents wholesomely so that your children can, be wholesome kids. You have to be a wholesome parent before you can do what? Before you can parent a wholesome kid. Commit to being the best image of yourself. You are passing down that image into your kids and other people around you. You are passing down that image into your kid and into other people who are around you. This is the responsibility we carry as leaders. This is the responsibility we carry as parents. This is the responsibility we carry as guardians. This is the responsibility. The list goes on and on and on. Let us not be parents with just the title mommy and daddy. Let us be truly mommy and daddy in putting values, excellence into our children. Okay? I hope you gained so much from Fela's charge, because I gained. That is what compelled me to make this video to you. We are going to hold our hands. We will hold our hands together and raise this community to a point where I don't have to speak to you. Everything you will be learning or have learned so far from this community, you will begin to deposit it. You will begin to deposit it elsewhere in your small space, in your local assembly. You will begin to change the minds of parents. The things happening today, cross-dressing, gender identity crisis and all of these things, they are happening. Yes, the world is changing. These are the things that are changing with the world. But I tell you, if we can do better, if we can go back to proper parenting, if we can go back to proper parenting, we'll be able to cope some of those things coming with the generation that we are evolving into. Please do not parent shabbily. You've got to be intentional. You've got to be intentional. There is nothing like this child came by mistake. You've got to be intentional in your parenting so that we can raise wholesome kids who will in turn build a better generation than what we have now. I always remind you, your little family is a sample, is a sample of the entire nation. Okay, your little family is a sample. When you want to do a research, you have the whole population, and then you do a sample. You take a sample and then run your survey on that sample, and that now gives you an idea. The result you got from the sample is what is serving now as is cutting across the words are not coming. I'm looking for the proper words, when you're doing research methodology and all of those things, the words are not coming, but I'm sure you do understand what I'm trying to drive at. So your family is a sample out of the nation. What you want to see in the nation, begin to impute it into your little space, impute it in your family, set out your family values, and make sure they are being followed through. And we'll smile by the end of the day when you begin to see your children thriving, not striving, thriving, not striving. Okay, so again, if you're new to this channel, I am your parenting partner. I advocate for wholesome parenting and wholesome kids. Let us raise wholesome kids by making ourselves wholesome as parents. So do put a thumb there, subscribe, drop a comment, ask your questions, bring people into this community. Let us parent together. Let us parent together. There is nothing too hard for us to do. If you were not parented properly and you've come to realize, because what I'm doing it from the realization of the things that My parents missed when they were bringing me up. I'm not holding them to it. They gave me all that they knew. They gave me the best that they had. Okay. It's just that now more information is now available to us, and I've decided to take advantage of that information and parent, better than what was imputed inside of me. And I would like you to do the same. Okay. I would like you to do the same. So please do not abandon me here alone. I will need you. I will need you to be able to push this message across to the world. Subscribe to Fella's YouTube channel. You will gain so much as well. You will gain so much as well. Thank you, and see you in the